This is Atlas Vaults,
This is a giant safe, this whole thing.
one of the biggest and most secure vaults in Latin America.
You can actually now have your money in gold, keep it stored, and when you need it, you convert it into the digital coins and you can spend it.
Featuring a multi-level security system, over 2,000 vault boxes with the ability to store gold, silver, crypto wallets, documents, anything that you deem valuable they can protect. Today, we have a special invitation to go in and meet with the founder, ask all of the questions that you might be wondering.
How does this start?
I believe very much in
How the physical goal it's moved?
it's where people come and there's no surveillance.
Who did you have to ask for permission to build
No,
all of this?
You can't call us and say, hey,
Go into my box.
You physically can't.
And most importantly, have a special tour of the entire vault.
Welcome, we are here in Atlas Vaults. We are here with Alex. Thanks for having us here.
thank you for coming.
From Miami, that we met the first
Yes,
time.
we
to
met in
today.
Miami.
He said there's multiple levels of security, multiple doors. It's true. It's true. He was telling the truth. Multiple doors. It's really secure.
It's
He's
meant
going to
to
give
be
us
safe.
a tour. Yeah, a tour about.
We
secure.
also have a private entrance so that you don't expose yourself to the street, because to keep the crime level, keep you safe from street criminals.
Yeah.
So, not that there's a lot of that here, but we have to always be very careful.
Correct. Actually, we have a room there that we're going to show later, Switzerland style, right?
Yes, yes. Everything that in the tradition of Switzerland, when you take out, when you keep a box of which is your wealth that you keep stored, but you are the only one who sees it. When that box is taken out, and we'll show you that.
Yeah.
When the box is taken out, you have you take that. Our people do not see it. You go into one of the private rooms and you open it, and what you do there, how you put it in and what you do is your private right, and that's your business.
Excellent. Perfect. So how does it work? Somebody wants to protect some of their assets, right? Could be documents, could be gold.
Yes, gold, silver. We've got people who want to protect whatever is extremely valuable. Even the keys that hold Bitcoin, things like that. People keep that here safe, because to get here you have to go through a lot of different layers before you can try.
We second that. It's true. So
Okay,
please show us
let's
a little
go
bit
in.
more. Yeah.
Come on in. This is the biggest vault in the Latin American region, if not one of the biggest, if not the biggest. Let me show you.
Yeah, of course.
Come on over here. We get started here. As you see, the boxes are in here. These are the smaller ones, but you have a box that you keep your wealth in, or your documents, and you lock it up. And in order to have it, you have to have two keys. One key we keep all the time, but that key won't open. It needs your key. Without your key, it doesn't open. So this is almost like it's a way you store your wealth, but it's also like a different way of thinking of an apartment building. Each one of these is a person's apartment, and we don't access it. It's yours when you go in. So we come over here, and we've got over 2,000 these safety boxes. And this is, when I said this was one of the biggest, this is a giant safe, this whole thing. There are about a foot and a half of iron or steel and concrete all around here. So
Walls, floor.
it's extremely heavy. Yes, extremely heavy. And we also have the ability for storing, like, pallets if people that want to store silver, because silver becomes quite heavy, and they come in, store it as we would of course build a cage to keep it protected, but it's it's a space that you don't see in most vaults.
Yeah.
So except maybe in Europe, you see in Switzerland.
Switzerland.
And what we have here is this is the equivalent of having your own bank. Why do I say that? Because we're not part of the banking system. You become your bank. Because what happens is here you can keep your money stored as value of gold instead of cash. You keep it safe, it's your savings, and you can convert it. And you can convert it. We actually have a partnership with a company that digitizes.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah, and it's backed 1 gram for 1 coin. And it's a digital coin, and you can use it all around the world. And you can convert it back to dollars.
Yeah, it's super interesting. We should get back to this topic after, because it's a way to move around an asset or buy and sell an asset that actually would be more difficult without the system of the digital coin, the gold.
It allows us to have the freedom as our own individual bankers. We become our bankers. If you remember, the banking system started with the Italians.
Yeah.
It started with the Medici. And it was basically this. People would take their gold and say, store it for me. And then the Medici would take IOUs and give it to people. Now we don't have to do that. Now you can actually now have your money in gold, keep it stored, and when you need it, you convert it. You can you can put it into with the company that we work with.
Yep.
That they have an account here, and they convert it into those KAUs or KAGs, which are the digital coins, and you can spend it, and you can convert.
And then how the physical gold it's moved.
Our staff puts it into the special box that we have for that.
Okay.
That is their account.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to give us that specific gold that you want to have converted.
Understood.
And then Lucia would submit it to the company, and the company approves. And then once the company approves, you then have the digital money that you can then convert or use in Europe or the United States.
Or even with a card, right? That you can use it.
You can use it and you can actually use your phone for that.
Yeah, imagine.
It's all done on the phone.
Like Apple Pay, like
exactly.
paying gold.
Yes, you can actually pay with the gold KAUs, or you can. What I've done, I've converted. I bought dollars on the app.
Yeah.
And then send it to my bank account. So it's convenience and it's a power that you now have, and I think it's an exciting new melding of both crypto and the security of gold.
Yeah, excellent.
And this is the difference is here. We're not like we don't have the same requirements as a bank. We're actually private, and that means that you have complete privacy, and you don't have to do the same things that you normally would have to do with a bank. Yes, you have to qualify and make sure you're not doing any illegal things.
Correct.
But you don't have that kind of restriction that you have at a bank, because banks invest.
Yeah.
Third-party investments. Banks have all kinds of interests. We don't do that here. There is
That's your own business.
There's no third-party involvement in anything. So when you put your money in your box, you're the only one who has anything to do with it. And no, you don't have to worry about a bank investing your money and putting it away somewhere. It's 100% in your control.
Excellent.
And like I said, here are the conference rooms that you can use in privacy.
Here you can count your money with a machine.
It's where people come, and we don't stay in there, and there's no surveillance when you're in there.
Cameras,
no cameras, no.
Private room.
It's your privacy. And here as well, you come in, and this place is completely private, and you can have our clients get to come and have meetings that they want, and every client has that right.
Totally, got it. And what if you want to move something and you are not in the country? That's not possible. You need to come with your key.
Yes, because we don't unless you put it in one of the boxes that we have where you've given us written permission to have access to it.
Got it.
No one can touch it. So yes, you have to come, or someone that you've given that permission to
Comes with the key.
That has to be done in writing ahead of time. No one can just come in and say, "Hey, he gave me permission."
Yeah.
No, you have to authorize access. And when you do a contract with us, you actually submit authorizations. You can have 3 or 4 people that you want,
Yeah.
but then you're responsible for it.
Yeah. Something happens.
Yeah, I mean, I have parents who then find out that their son or daughter has taken some of their wealth out without and without his permission, but he gave permission for them to have access.
Yeah.
So we do warn you about that, but you decide who has access to your box.
Yeah, totally. It's like an authorized user on a credit card that
Exactly.
you give them the access. You give them even a credit card that it's in the same account as you.
Yes.
That was with Chase, with Amex, with all of these banks, and you're responsible of the usage the other person does of your card with your account. So
like if you are out of the country and you want to convert some of your gold, if you gave somebody prearranged access, yes, you could do it. But you cannot just you can't call us and say, "Hey, go into my box," because we don't have your
you
key.
physically can't, because there's
Even if we
that
wanted
key.
to,
Yeah.
which we don't want to.
Yeah.
But if we wanted to, we can't because we need the 2 keys.
Excellent.
But we do have a couple of boxes that we leave open with prior consent that the client wants, and he says, "Look, and it's by contract. I'm giving you permission to hold on to, let's say, 5 ounces of my gold here, and I'm going to call you and I'm going to ask you to have that taken and converted. But I'm not ready to do that yet. You give us that kind of permission in one of those boxes. We could do that."
Got it. Do you mind if we sit here
Yes,
and we ask
please.
a couple of questions?
Yeah, have a
and
seat.
We chat. How did this start, Alex? Like, what was the moment that you had the idea and be like, I gotta build this vault, put steel and concrete, all of these, Because it's
First
pretty
of all,
wild.
I believe very much in gold. I think gold is very important for you to keep your wealth safe. The euro, the dollar, it's losing value every day because of central banks. So I wanted, I looked at a place like you've been traveling at different places. I am the same way. I felt like, I think there's freedom outside of the United States. There's more financial freedom. So I decided to have the base in Panama because Panama is probably it's the most stable country in Latin America. And that's, in some ways, that's because of the United States. The United States protects it. So I thought it's a great place to do this in. And I didn't see anything that made me feel, I did find a couple of little vaults, and I did not feel like I could sleep at night. So I decided that I wanted to create something that you can actually feel no one's touching this. And it would be safe. And second, you want to have a place that is protected, that you can have complete privacy, but you also know that you can also have access to other services in this country. Because as a foreigner in this country, I know I had a lot of things I had to learn the hard way. So what we do is that we help as much as we can with, like, if you said to me, "Look, I need to create I need a corporation," or what we have here is foundations legally.
Yep.
We can help you that. We can help with that and suggest how we can do it. We can help you do it properly. Foundations are very important. They copied the law here in Panama right out of Liechtenstein.
I see.
And it's a very, very good law to protect your wealth and property for just the very reason that you want to make sure that when you die, you don't have to be in court. Well, the foundation keeps your property protected because you put it into the hands of the foundation, and there's no more probate court, because when you die, the property keeps living. You put
Inside
it
the foundation.
Inside the foundation.
That outlives you.
Exactly. So it's to protect you so that you don't have to worry about the headaches of here. Just a simple will could take over a year and a half to get it, and so you don't want to have to deal with that. And if you have a foundation, the foundation will live forever.
Yeah. For generations to come.
And you tell in that foundation who gets to control the wealth of the foundation when you're gone. And that's the important thing. So those are the things that I liked about having it here in this country.
Panama.
And then and I built this here because one, I wanted to be sure that you can come in from outside the street and not be exposed and be protected. And in order to break through here, you really have to, I mean, you've got to
really
use
gotta try.
like Israeli missiles. You know, that's the only way it's going to happen.
Wow. And how was the process of getting permissions from, I guess, the government, or like who did you have to ask for permission to build all of this? Like, how was the process?
That's just it's built with, we got the city permissions, like you build anything.
Okay.
You get the city to have it built, and we did the entire vault had to be certified by Hamilton Safe, and once we built it, I think what we've created was much more secure than anything else you're going to find around here. There are a couple of vaults that you go to and you slam the door and you see things shaking, and
Yeah.
I mean, I had to reinforce the box because there's a parking lot underneath that,
Parking.
yeah,
What do you mean parking?
you can park under under the
It
building.
fits multiple cars there, and you can just go up and go to your vault
Yes,
privately.
yes,
Wow.
yeah, and I wanted to make sure that so I reinforced. That's why I said there's a foot and a half all around there, and it's so heavy that I had to reinforce the bottom to make sure that it was with huge beams. So it's very, very strong. And in order to bring that down, you would have to blow up the entire building, and you won't get it.
Wow. And regarding privacy, who can know that a client has a vault here, like a box here?
No, our clients' privacy is protected. The only way you can know is if the client himself declares his identity. We have clients that will openly talk and tell people about that they're with us, but if you don't want to, we don't offer that.
And the government can know, like just maybe under an investigation of somebody.
If a government
criminal, right?
wants to investigate something, they have to have like a normal, like in the United States, they have to have a warrant and they investigate. But it's one specific investigation, so that hasn't happened, thank God.
Okay.
But everything is individual. If a government is doing some kind of investigation, it would be done as one individual case.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we're very good at trying to make sure that people that come here show that they're not involved in.
Correct. Just trying to get into the worst case scenario if somebody's concerned about their privacy, like it would be theoretically impossible that nobody can know. They can remain totally private if they want to hear, right?
We also do not have our records on the. We don't keep our. We don't use the the internet.
Everything's physical.
Yeah. No, and it's physical. So we don't.
Pen and paper and kept safe.
And we have our own server. We do not believe in using the cloud.
You built truly like every single part of
Well,
this.
we don't want to be like,
It's a masterpiece.
because there's a lot of hackers and
Yeah.
people get involved and our, people's clients, our clients are their privacy is very important.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that they're safe, and it's all, and the thing is, it's not only is it important, but it's also very legal. It's perfectly legal for you to demand privacy. It's perfectly legal for you to say, I don't want people to know where I keep my wealth.
Totally.
But there are people, and there are people in the United States who believe that they have a right to know everything, and that's wrong. That's just a very sad misconception.
So if somebody wants to come here and ask if somebody has something, you cannot disclose anything.
Oh no, we don't disclose our
please
clients.
Please go away. And
no,
that's it.
no.
Amazing.
No, we don't disclose our clients.
Totally. So full privacy.
Yeah.
And a protected server outside of the public internet.
Oh yeah, we're not on the internet. We're not on the cloud.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the cloud.
Yeah. Good.
But yeah, this is if you want to keep your savings in the form of gold or silver and you want to keep it protected, this is a good place to do that because it also gives you a chance to not have everything in where you may live. And if you live in Mexico or you live in the United States or Colombia, it's a very good idea to have your wealth stored outside of your own home. And this is a very good place to do it in.
Totally. Any question that you would like to ask now that we are having this time?
I feel no questions.
Okay, great. I think that's really complete. That's really thorough, the whole explanation.
Well,
Any other point that you think it's...
Well, what is your philosophy? Why? I know you're very involved in traveling all around the world and finding and not being saddled down with one place.
Yeah.
So, what is your philosophy on places like this and being in a place like Panama?
I think that indeed Panama is one of the most free countries in Latin America. I would say that Panama and Paraguay are very free because of this territorial tax system. Any money that you're generating outside, it's protected. Also, in this case, Paraguay also have non-CRS at this point, so they don't exchange financial information. Something that Panama had to sign, but still, as you say, they have the foundation. So I think that between the two countries, where it's places that I have different assets built, you achieve great freedom. I would say Panama more stable. I would agree with you. And
it's also closer.
Yeah, actually, the airport, it's much better. The airport in Panama than the airport in Paraguay. At least today, it's much more of a global airport. Yeah. I could come directly from Amsterdam, for example, from Europe. You fly to Panama.
Yeah, you can fly directly into Europe. Yeah,
but you are not there in Paraguay, in the very south of Latin America.
Paraguay is very far away. Most people don't realize that.
Correct. It is. So my take is that I like to have assets. For example, crypto. I think it's a decentralization of Bitcoin in this case. I believe more in Bitcoin than other projects because, let's say, Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin can be like targeted, and they can, if, for example, he was dead, probably would have a massive impact in Ethereum. But you cannot kill the owner of Bitcoin or the founder of Bitcoin, right? Because it's just this Satoshi, right? This figure. But it's decentralized, so I believe a lot in that. And I also believe in having assets in multiple countries, something that you mentioned. To live in one place, have banking in another, then have a foundation here and have your, let's say, gold or your ledger protected. I think that's really smart. And that's what I do personally.
Yeah.
Like have assets diversified all over the world.
Yeah, you never know what will happen in the world politically. And we live in very strange times.
Yeah.
And I always used to see the stories of the Jews that left Germany during World War II when they tried to escape, and they had to basically walk out of their country and put gold inside the lining of their jackets. And I always thought, we should be more prepared for things like that and not have to worry and not have to do things that way. We should be able to have, that's freedom, that's power. If you don't have everything in one place, you have more power. You have more freedom. And I think that's really important for all of us if we can do it. And there are a lot of people in the United States, for example, that they think it's terrible to just get on a plane and leave and not have, and they want all their money in one bank account and they're going to find out that might be a big mistake.
They're vulnerable, for sure. Yeah, so having decentralization.
Yeah, it's happening, like you probably have been just been traveling into Colombia. Colombia, there are people in Colombia would like to get their money out of their country, and they need to start thinking about that. It's strategic protection.
Yeah.
I have people in Canada who want to protect themselves. In Canada, you never thought that would happen. And they don't, if they want to take money out of Canada, it's like being, they're now being forced to explain everything about their own money.
Yeah. Yeah. And depending on what they do, let's say a strike of the truck drivers or whatever that you are saying that the government is not liking on social media, in the UK it happens even more than Canada. Like there's people
Yes.
that have been cancelled because of what they said in social media. And then their assets, their money, everything, it's just one button, click,
That's-
done, frozen.
That's another great point. You can be canceled.
This gold, you cannot
You can be
cancel
canceled.
the gold
yeah.
that you have here.
Yeah, and I love Bitcoin.
Or Bitcoin.
I
Ledger.
love Bitcoin, but gold, if something ever happened to the electric grid and the system, gold is still going to be there. Bitcoin is great because it gives you the power to move around, but you want to protect yourself in multiple ways.
Yeah.
Because again, you can be canceled. Getting canceled these days is so easy. And Britain is a great example.
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting people in jail for things that they write on Facebook.
Yeah, that's crazy, yeah?
And they're taking away their bank accounts.
Sure.
So it's really important for you to start thinking freedom is something that gives you power. The more uncancelable you are, the better you are, the freer you're going to be.
Correct. And the more you can speak freely what you think. Because if you are afraid of your bank account being blocked or somebody seizing your assets.
Or your credit cards.
Yeah, correct. Your credit card.
Because that's the easiest thing. And for the last 4 years, we've seen in the US, credit cards were canceled on people because of the kind of business they were in,
Yeah,
or the things they said.
correct.
And no matter what you see politically, it's never going to go away because there are always these people trying to take power, always. And so it's a much better thing for you to do by saying, I'm going to strategically find ways to protect myself and my interest so that I can't be canceled and I can't be forced into slowly dying of hunger.
Yeah, correct.
Like they're trying to do now with British farmers.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're trying to destroy the British farmer. And that's government controlled.
Yeah, and we don't know, Alex, in 5 years, in 10 years, where the world is going to go.
Yeah.
So the best thing is now get options. That's something that is common denominator among all our clients at First Class Citizen. It's they want options.
I've noticed that you do that, and you go all around the world, and you've been really good at finding the specific options. But again, it's not for everybody.
Correct.
Too many people are afraid to take the chance.
Correct. But I think it's through these conversations that we have that one person at a time can open, a new reality, unlock that another possibility of a way of living is possible.
Something else you just remind me of, and that's the fact that another aspect of strength is networking. And you're a network, we're part of a network.
Yeah.
We get stronger with more networks that we put together.
Totally.
And that's how we create that freedom, that
Correct.
sense of freedom.
And it is built during these good times, these easy times. So when things go south, the relationship, the trust is already built. And then it's one phone call away. I need to store this in the vault. I need to do this.
Yeah.
The network is powerful already. That's what you want to do.
Absolutely.
It's not the time to build it when things go south.
Yeah, no.
You want already, know the right people at the right countries.
Yeah, when governments have completely gone bad, that's the last time that's too late.
That's too late. 1 year too early, better than 1 day too late.
Yeah, and again, out of 1,000 people, maybe 2 people will start trying to do that. And the other people will ridicule it or accuse you of being crazy or not wanting to do things, but you should be protected.
Until the day, the Black Swan events happen.
Yeah.
And then the paranoids that were in the past, oh, you're paranoid, you're too crazy, you're thinking about this apocalyptic. Sometimes reality it's even bigger
Absolutely.
than fiction, you know, what you could not even fathom or imagine happens.
Would
And
you
we
have
could see
been able-
2020, you know?
Would you have guessed that we would have been in COVID lockdowns all around the world? If somebody had told you that before it happened, you would have said,
You'll be
you're
like,
crazy.
Yeah, that's from a movie.
Yeah, this is a crazy film, and we
Yeah.
lived through it.
Correct.
And then there was the COVID passports,
Yeah.
and just controlling everybody. So these are things that they can happen overnight, and if you think it doesn't, then you just don't learn from history.
Correct. And the most dangerous, Alex, I think it's not the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, or other things that we expect that will happen or roll out, but the ones that we can't even fathom. Those are the more dangerous ones because you don't prepare against it. A black swan.
One great example. Everybody thinks, well, you're in a bank, it's my money, my bank is safe. My bank has a great record. Except, you know, you don't
Argentina,
own,
El Corralito. You want to withdraw the money and you can't.
you don't understand that legally, when you put your money in a bank, the bank is the owner of your money. You become a creditor, unsecured, for the money that you basically loaned to the bank.
That in theory, in the United States, it's covered $250,000.
Until,
in theory.
until a major disaster happens and,
And
then
then,
they won't cover.
sorry.
Or
Sorry.
they will give you $250,000 that is worth about $20
Yeah,
by the
because they're
time
going
it's
to inflate
done.
it. Yeah, totally. That's
So-
why gold, Bitcoin
Exactly.
holds value.
And that's why I keep trying to tell people, banks hold your money and become the owners of your money. Please understand that you're no longer the owner of that property.
Totally.
That's why this exists, because, hey, I also was a victim of a bank. I know
Yeah.
a bank went under and
Yeah.
everything went down.
Told me stories in Miami. And,
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's something that, you know, you better protect yourself, because if you're burned again, it's your fault.
Totally. Alex, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
all of this wisdom, these messages for all of you. And if you want to know more about Atlas Vaults, you can find it in the description. You can connect with the team. And also, if you happen to be here in Panama City, they will receive you so you can see it for yourself. I'll see you in the next one.